Hello, ladies and gentlemen, professor, and a fellow classmate. My name is Christian Bisono from Lembar 36, and today I'm honored to be present the final analysis for the Economic Landscape course. The topic I have chosen is a supply chain and cost structure analysis in Indonesia bioenergy industry, with a specific focus on how macroeconomic and microeconomic perspective intersect to influence its success. Indonesia has set ambitious goals for renewable energy and bioenergy, such as biodiesel and biomass. It is expected to play a central role, yet as we'll explore, there are fundamental economic barriers preventing the sector from scaling effectively. Through this presentation, I will guide you through the current condition of the industry, apply relevant macro and micro theories, and finally, offer the greater strategic recommendations and that I believe are critical to accelerating Indonesia energy transition. So, let's begin. Before we dive into the analysis, let me walk you through the structure of today's presentation. There are 6 main sections I will cover. First, I will begin with a brief introduction to the topic and why bioenergy matters for Indonesia. Second, I will describe the current condition of the bioenergy sector, what's working and more importantly, what's not. Then, I will apply key macroeconomic theories followed by a deeper look at the microeconomic dynamics that shape the industry. After that, I will present the integrated analysis connecting to the macro and micro insight into one coherent view. And finally, I will share my key learning and strategic recommendation for accelerating Indonesia bioenergy transformation. And let's begin with the introduction. Okay, the next thing is introduction first. Indonesia has made bioenergy central to its renewable energy goal, while the potential is immense, spanning biodiesel, biomass, and biogas. The progress lacks but. Today I will walk you through the core economic challenge behind this, from supply chain inefficiency to the cost structure, and propose an integrated solution. So when we see that, actually Indonesia government already set an ambitious target to 23% renewable energy by 2025. And that's the under national energy policy. The bioenergy mix that we do mean with what we mean is including biodiesel, biomass, and biogas. And is expected to be a major contributor to this mix to achieve the target in 23%. That's already formalized too in the Presidential Regulation number 5 in 2006 and updates in via RUEN 2017. As you see, the Indonesia possesses the vast bioenergy potential, especially from palm oil, agro waste, and livestock waste. But despite with the long-standing policy support and the potential, renewable energy in Indonesia only accounted for 13.9% of total energy as of 2024. This barrel came up with the analysis what is about the high cost of feedstock and logistics, regulatory fragmentation, and underdeveloped processing in infrastructure. If we compare with the other nations like Brazil and Germany, they already success to develop their potential in green energy and already make a stronger progress. Okay, let's do the current condition in Indonesia. As we know in our introduction before, that we Indonesia have some challenge to develop this target, to get the target in bioenergy, and the implementation is falling short of the target. Is technical reason is about the logistical, financial, and institutional barrier. As of 2024, like I said mentioned in the introduction before, that renewable energy mix is only 13.9, far below with the target in 2025. Bioenergy development is uneven, with the rural area particularly lacking infrastructure and the investment, and the supply chain remain inefficient and geopolitical fragmented, driving up the cost and limiting scalability. Because of situation and condition to prepare the raw material, and the infrastructure is not even for the all area that we need to scalable for production. As we said before in introduction, the challenge identified is about high logistic and transportation costs, feedstock volatility, like a fluctuative in palm oil price that every day changing for the price, and lack of coordination across ministry and the local government. And before I said, that's like Brazil, German, we see that they already success in a long time, like Brazil in 1917, and the German for supporting biomass in 4 decades. And if we see in South Asia neighborhood, that Malaysia and Thailand, the regional green finance framework and village level bioenergy program have increased uptake and investment certainly. And yeah, and the next with the current situation, with I try to the reflected with the macroeconomic theory that macroeconomic models show that after I reflected that the bioenergy investment can stimulate growth, but only if matched with the supply side reform and financial coordination. The theory, that we can use is about in the based on macroeconomic theory is about the ADAS model that the government investment in a bioenergy increase aggregate demand, leading to higher output and employment. But with supply improvement like logistics, skill infrastructure, the aggregate suppliers remain inelastic and risking for inflation. And the theory that really relate for this condition is to that about this multiplier effect. Why? Bioenergy infrastructure is rural province creates positive spillover that and this theory already supporting I already read the supporting journal that say that public investment multiplies income by 1.6 till 2.3 times based according to Lestari et al. In 2022, that if the government give investment to the infrastructure, beyond this infrastructure, it will impact to our GDP in 1.6 until 2.3. And about the IS and RM framework, fiscal support push to the ICE curve for record, tight monetary policy, and cold crowd out private sector if not aligned. So, if the monetary policy is not good too, the ecosystem, this industry is have a bad for the economy. And the last thing that about the balance and payment, or we said a BOP, that it is if we can increase our production in bioenergy as our target, this will impact to import substitution. That's really will reduce the real our dependence on fossil fuel that we import from other country, because we already can produce for the energy that we said like biosolar, for the example. And the second is about export gain. When we can increase our production in biodiesel, the biodiesel will reach we can have a good position in the biodiesel export in other countries. So like I said that before, that already read the journal, already research that supporting this one like Hartono, that about investment is impact to our GDP growth, and from Agustina Horens direct investment in high responsive buat green finance incentive, and from the Fakulchuk in 2020, that scaling bioenergy export can stabilize the external income. And after we reflect it from the macroeconomic theory and we reflect it in microeconomic theory, the microeconomy is like we said before that we have a challenge that if inefficiency, especially in cost structure and the market signal, and is preventing Indonesia bioenergy sector from scaling competitively with the other country. First, if we see the theories about theory cost structure and economy of scales, of course, that from now, currently, many bioenergy SME operate below minimum efficiency scale. High fixed costs for the revenues, feedstock, and transport raise the average cost for production or CO gas. And again, for the price elastic on demand, the industrial user in LC demand do the ESG mandate, and household and micro enterprise um, LC demand very price sensitive. And the last one is external and market failure. Bioenergy provide positive external, lower emission, rural employee energy, and access. This benefit other price into the market leads to underinvestment. And the last theory that we use in microeconomy is about the producer behavior and risk aversion. Uncertainty in feedstock price and unclear procurement regulation discourage producer to entry. SME avoid scaling due to limited access to the credit and technical support. And this theory already supported with some journal, some journal and book, like a book in Samuelson and Mark, that say that cost structure determine market entry and pricing. And the journal from Setiawan in 2021 that cooperative and fit-in tariff reduce risk, improve credit access. And for the book of macroeconomy from Menkin, the market failure justify subsidies or tax incentive to internalize, externalize. And the last one, for the journal from Disaneke, carbon pricing and ecosystem service payment remain underdeveloped in Indonesia. So we have chance that if we have a concern for this ecosystem like in the cost structure and support, we reduce the problem in the about the investment, how to get investment, how to get the market. The SMA that they will brave to increase their production, and when we can achieve our target Indonesia in 2025 for the renewable energy. Okay, we already see the macro theories and the micro theories that I will use for this analysis, and I integrate this micro and macro with the condition that I think Indonesia Bioenergy Challenge is it not just about more money or better technology, it's about the alignment. When macroeconomic tools like investment and trade policy don't connect with the real cost, incentive, and restructure faced by firm, will lose the efficiency. The transition must be planned as an integrated system, not in a silos. So, we can success this bioenergy transition if we coordinate macro micro evaluation integration linking national investment with the operational reform. It's a really related from the CC in micro in customer in sorry in the entrepreneur side and the government side is have to coordinate together to or government have to support the entrepreneur to get to do a operational reform. Okay, okay, and next, based on from this analysis, we have a key learning and recommendation from this analysis ya. To unlock Indonesia bioenergy potential, policymaker must align fiscal, regulatory, and local implementation strategies into the integrated framework. So the key takeaway, first thing first is bioenergy is economical and strategical vital, but from this current progress is too slow to develop. And the macroeconomic tools like subsidies and public investment need to be a better target because now still not a good in segmented. And the microeconomic fraction from cost structure to producer incentive must be addressed with the correct one. So we have to local government have to create a new policy to support the producer. International alignment, the last one. Across ministry, local government and private sector is essential for effective execution because if the government already give a great policy, but for the local government not supporting, not to tell the producer, this increment is not happen. So based on this one, the action recommendation from me is about the first is expand fiscal tools for the green investment. Like a tax incentive for exception or green procurement mandates, this one, and then enhance carbon market participation. I link a national carbon credit with ASEAN and global platform to trigger, to encourage, to give a motivation producer to produce the green bioenergy. Promote community-based model, empower cooperative and BUMDes with the grant and training, and streamline regulatory framework to give the easy for the producer or entrepreneur to build the infrastructure for bioenergy. And the last one is about the fund. This about establish a green energy transition fund that we can use like Bank Indonesia will support Bank Indonesia will support the funds or use public-private partnership to scale up bioenergy project. Okay, I think this is the last slide that from me. Thank you. Okay, this is our my last slide. Thank you for watching and hope this information can give you the insight for the condition that our current status for the bioenergy and our target Indonesia to achieve the bioenergy to achieve the green energy like government said. Thank you.